Good morning, 6:15. Woke up at 3:30 and figured it's a good time to sinew back a bow. So I wound up this recurved D bow. And the first note is you notice I didn't string it backwards and sinew back it, or else it would be strung up backwards right now. The reason I didn't was I didn't really think it was necessary. I could have, added some tension to the sinew, but this is more bow than sinew. It's going to be a single layer, protective layer, so it's all good. Plus, Osage in these dimensions, relatively wide. It already has some reflex. It's recurved. I just felt it was, in this case, an unnecessary step. Second of all, everything worked out so well. Wasn't fighting anything. Had an easy time doing clean edges. Stuck down immediately. It was compliant. And it's exactly because of preparation. I sized the bow proficiently. Blanking on the words. Multiple layers until it was glistening. And I could take my finger, wet it, stick it onto that dried sizing layer. All was good. It was sticky. I also wound up using a slightly heavier mixture of hide glue in here. So I had to several times put it in my Tupperware in the hot water bath, just hot water from the faucet, let it relax a little bit, and then took it out. I don't remove sinew when it's sitting in the water bath. Put it on a plate, simply because I'll roll the top of the baggie down so I have easy access. And there's nothing worse. Well, there's a lot of things worse, but let's just say there is nothing worse than having that rolled down baggie slip under the water and water down your glue. And so always take it out. You can do it a couple ways. You could certainly one fiber at a time and lay it down. I would on a small going because it's a small bow. I'm not using a lot of tendons. But in this case, I did it kind of similar to the standard method. Where you've got your workstation, you've got all a multiple grouping, a whole bunch of bundles, multiple fibers, bundles. You take those bundles, you dip them into the hide glue pot. If you're using the double boiler method, I count to 20. It's slow because you have all these bundles and you have to count to 20 between each one and stick them down. I pulled out bundles and did it like the bundly method instead of single fiber. Now, it's a little rat's nested in there, but it's still not bad. It just has this twist in there, just from taking it out and putting. Don't fight it. You're going in there and you're reaching, zeroing in on how many fibers, size of the bundle, to grab it and pull it out. Sometimes you're taking out more. And if you were to just fight it and try to get the exact number, it's going to rat's nest. And so I go with the flow. I pull out what wants to pull out nicely. And if it's too many, I'll just split it outside of the baggie and then just drape that extra over the edge. And that'll be in the next bit of sticking it down. Don't fight it, or else you're going to have rat's nests bad in there. You might go for one, you're going to get three. Well, if three pull out cleanly, pull out the three, use the one, then just drape the other two over that if you're doing a single fiber at a time method. That's that. I had it so, why it was so sticky, the viscosity of this was a little heavier than normal. So it was very gluey, and it was lovely. In being in the kitchen, I had access to hot water to put my baggie back in the bath. Unroll it so it doesn't get into the water. And that's about it. I'm currently just waiting. If your sinew looks good, right off the bat, it's going to be a pretty layer. Stem to stern. And I didn't do it all the way to the tips because the tips are going to be bare wood. I guess the last bit is I am going, whenever I sinew back, I'm going to wrap. I'm going to wrap that right about there. So there's no way that over use and time that it's going to pull up a little bit. I'm secure with wrapping. But I don't do my wraps right away because this layer of sinew will shrink down. And if I was to wrap it right now and the back shrunk down, the wraps might not be as tight as they possibly could be. And so I'm going to wait. And I'm going to support that recurve because as this dries, it's going to shrink and it might want to pull up from the recurve. So until it's completely dried down, it's going to be supported first with this, and then when it dries down enough, I will wrap it. I think that's about it. Yeah. Have a good one, and thank you for watching.